All right, everyone, welcome back for the episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Thursday, October 24th, 2024. If you're not done so already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, to get into it today. So markets stay really, and I mean really quiet. We got Tesla here up over 20%. I think 260 is about it for right now. It might get up to 270 by the end of the week. But that is getting, dealers are getting squeezed right now. So this was opening, or after hours, last night it was around 239, 238. And we inched up here by the open. We actually had I would have had a sell signal if it opened right in this range here. But based on the gap up, it kind of overshot that and negated it. But this thing really is such a powerhouse today, up 21%, and that is saving the market. I wouldn't say saving the market, but market down yesterday, and we got came off the lows very nicely. We talked about the 485 level on the Qs, perfect, picture perfect GEX level, and really coinciding with that trend line there on the daily. You can see the spiders essentially doing, if I can draw my lines back, there you go, same thing on the spiders. So nice hit off of that level. But right now, if Tesla was up 5%, I think this market would be flat, maybe even a little bit red here. But overall, level still the same. Here we go, 580, and we're about to test that right now. We'll see if that ends up getting closed above or not. I'll be talking about it in the live stream with members after the bell. But for right now, that's really all we need to know. And, Bears played some defense this morning, but you get a higher low here. Now you kind of consolidate for a few hours. We'll see, can they trend this up tomorrow and push us higher? That remains to be seen. But right now, 580 is the big level that Bears got to defend here in the near term. Otherwise, we can squeeze higher. That's 58.20 on SPX. So simple stuff here. And congrats to Tesla Bulls. Lamb Research also up nicely as well. Not nearly as close as Tesla. Another big winner that nobody was talking about is ServiceNow, although that is coming back in here. So maybe, actually maybe a little bit of weakness. That's come back in quite a bit, hasn't it? So a little bit of weakness there in the afternoon for ServiceNow. Maybe even getting close to a false breakout type level there. Maybe a topping tail too. But either way, still a strong stock and an uptrend, and markets holding up nicely today. There's the Russell, and there's your ascending wedge. Right, pretty simple. We hit that yesterday. Everything hit the lows of the day perfectly, right? This August trend line, everything hit that August trend line yesterday. So we're getting a nice bid off of that. And again, I'm just going to defer until we get above 580. Dow here a little bit soft. Again, I'd prefer to see this back above 425, but you're kind of coming into this level, you're back testing it. You want to see us push off of that. I'd say if we close below 420, you're in like false breakout territory, right? Especially on a weekly, like tomorrow. If we're down tomorrow for whatever reason, I'd want to see that, hold. Still above the feet, still be above the 50 moving average, but never good to consolidate like that and then immediately not be able to hold. But it's not in any danger right now, just marking that so that it is said. Not much to say about marijuana stocks. We'll continue to cover these here. MSOS down today. Again, tomorrow we'll see what Trump says on Joe Rogan. So I can't believe that's something that's going to go into my analysis right now, but that's what it is here. SMH up $1.24. Still kind of soft, right? Even with Lamb Research up nicely. We had NVIDIA kind of flat, not really doing a ton today. At Broadcom down, I think TSM was down. Yeah, TSM down 1%. So SMH still, you still have a daily inside bar here. It's technically still bearish. So the positive is you're above the moving averages for the most part here, and you have higher lows. But this starts to play out. That's going to be a big negative for the market, and that's something that could happen here. So SMH a little bit weaker. IGV, nice pop again off of ServiceNow mostly. It did come back in off the highs though. But good bounce off the 20 MA there. Dow transports here on the weaker side, still above the 50 moving average, and again, kind of just testing that again here today. All right, probably the bigger reason for the market bounce today is yields, right? Yields came back in. And, if we continued higher, I think the market would not be as resilient even with Tesla up. Specifically the twos. Now here's the risk still. So, I mean, the 10s are down, yes. We're down about 4 basis points off the high. By the way, we're into resistance here. And isn't it a little rich that, I don't know, Stan Druckenmiller and Paul Tudor Jones go all over TV right here and they pump their book and say, oh, I'm long yields. I'm long yields. Okay, where were you 2 months ago? So it just seems a little convenient. And by the way, like all the reasons they gave, these are the same reasons I've had for the last 4 years that to say the yields are in a bull market. But in context of timing right now, look at where we are. Like we just hit a 50% fib, or just a 618 on the 30-year, going into some major breakdown pivots. So probably due for a pullback. So that's what I'm saying. However, short end, this is the one that matters right now. And if this inverse head and shoulder triggers above 4-1, it don't matter what the 10s do, because this is what your Fed funds goes off of. This is where the current EFFR is. And if you shoot up to 4.41, we are not getting any more rate cuts. Forget it. So that's your real risk in this market, if there is one. But we haven't broken that yet. So, oh, and by the way, the yield curve would go back to being inverted too, because if 10s and 30s pull back and 2s pump, yeah, so I don't think that's something the market has even considered at this time yet. But there is the possibility for that, hence why I'm mentioning it. XHB at 51 cents. I would like to see that close tomorrow above 120. Otherwise, I'd say home builders actually in a little bit of trouble, which is crazy because they never are. But VNQ here up a third. Just kind of backing and filling here on the bigger time frames. No real problems to speak of. XLF flat to positive, no problems there. KRE, same thing. And same thing with KBE. Maybe a little bit like inside bar bear action there, but again, above all the moving averages, above trend, higher lows. So take that with a grain of salt there. XBD right back up. So basically negating yesterday's decline. Still overbought, but overbought gets more overbought usually. So, and here's something that we'll talk about a little bit more. No one cares, and I should have brought this up in the beginning of the video, but nobody cares. Trump said today that he will lift all sanctions on Russia. It's like crickets here. You guys know I'm going to victory lap the hell out of palladium today. That's why it's pumping, but we'll get back to that in a second. Oil, this could be affected here. Oil can be affected and bonds can be affected. Probably not a coincidence that oil's down, bonds up, palladium up. I would be surprised, or I'm actually surprised that wheat isn't down. But yeah, nobody cares. This is only like a massive implication. But yeah, crude down 26 cents. There's no problems here. I did cut my crude runner position, so I did get fully out of that, just full disclosure. But you still have an inside pattern here. So up move outside of the trend line. And just overall like a big spinning top doji. So it's not like there's anything wrong, but if that narrative starts getting going, I could see them maybe trying to take crude down one more time. I would still be a buyer, but you're coming off the lows pretty nicely here, so that's fair. But in the near term, yeah, we'll see. We'll have to wait on pattern here. I think energy stocks will be fine. And this is another thing that I found funny. Even when crude was up today and yesterday, XLE's been down. So funds are just selling the hell out of energy stocks, and I think that's an opportunity. I think they're very underexposed. I think they'll get rotation around the election, and like right before or right after. I really like how this is setting up on the monthly. Beautiful inside bar pattern. It's ready to go. You're just sitting, you've been consolidating beneath all-time highs for like 2-3 years now. This thing's ready to go. So that's really my take on XLE and energy. Not really concerned that much with the short term, although we could see some more backing and filling for sure. There's OIH there as well. Did it just overthrow the falling wedge? We'll see. We'll see tomorrow. Came off the lows nicely. Uranium continuing to back off. There's CCJ, URNM, and URNJ. They came off the lows though. So just a little overbought, pulling back there. Speaking of overbought, this is like a crime here. Nat gas just can't be up 10% in a day. It only goes down. But in all seriousness, yeah. So we got back above 250. So there you go. There's your 250. I just didn't think we would make another low. I knew we were kind of looking for a low around mid to late October. I was just a little surprised. I thought we wouldn't make a new low here on the X. But it did, and look at that pump there. This is interesting too, because this shouldn't really be pumping with, I mean, I don't think this should really be pumping off of the sanction stuff. Seasonally it should be though, so I guess it can just be going off of that. Less contango here. Now there's about 5% less. Could be just tightening up those spreads, honestly. But there's the Z, which will be on very shortly, and that is above those breakdown pivots also. So nat gas getting a bid here. I think it's got one more pump in it over the next month or so. Dollar finally finished red. So we got all the way up to 104.50. We backed off. Will it be like? Will it just be like that day right there? Maybe. We'll see, but definitely a little stretched here. Gold, green, but this reversal candle is still there until proven otherwise. Remember, we made a new high and then closed red with an uptick in volume. Not crazy volume, but definitely an uptick. So be careful with gold here. Silver also flat to lower as well. So backing off of 35. Platinum here touched our level, right? We said 1060. I mean, at 1060 is kind of just guesstimating. You know, what did it get up to? 1053. All right, close enough. And then it, it touched the trend line, right? And then it pulled back. Now, did Aaron know that palladium, Trump was going to say that about Russia? No. But what you do is you buy something that's really cheap relative to its peer, and it's not going to go really any lower into this massive support level. And then you put yourself in a position to where when you get good news, this happens. And use the charts to guide you there, right? So I've been talking to you guys about this weekly pattern. That looks very good. And it's on breakout. I've been playing it with Sprott here, and that's at a 52-week high, so I'm happy. Oh, and it's on, crazy volume too, so it's probably going higher. But yeah, palladium, nice move. And that's up despite platinum pulling back too. So Sprott is kind of like a split between the two of these. Very nice move there. Copper here up 3 cents. Again, still inside bar, bear flag here. It's a little small, but I'm indifferent to it right now. Bitcoin also bounced back pretty nicely, up 2 1/4. So all in all, just a 20 moving average retest. We'll see if 69 can hold much longer. After that, I think we're going to 75. So, all right, let's see here. Spiders, let's just take a look. Yeah, 579.44. There's just ODT GEX at 580. So we probably won't break it right now. If they're going to break it, I don't know, maybe they just gap us up. But otherwise, I would still give the bears a little bit of a window here. They did here, the positive here, if there is any for bears, is that you didn't, like, I wouldn't have wanted us to be down a ton today. Like, if anything, you wanted to bounce with no follow through, and that's kind of what we're getting right now. But yeah, 580, that's the big level. We'll watch that, and we'll talk about that tomorrow too. So anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Again, you guys take care. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com. See you guys all tomorrow.